Justin Bieber was 13 years old when the entire world decided he belonged to them. Not his music, him, his face, his relationships, his mistakes. Every awkward moment of growing up that most teenagers get to experience in private, Justin Bieber experienced in front of billions. He was mocked by grown men on national television. He was sexualized by adult women before he was old enough to drive. He was handed more money and fame than any child should ever be given and then publicly destroyed when he buckled under the weight of it. But before the mugshots and the tabloid headlines and the breakdowns, there was just a kid from a small town in Canada who taught himself 4 instruments and sang into a camera because he loved music. So how did the most famous teenager on the planet become a cautionary tale for what happens when the world builds a child up just to tear him apart? If you love stories about the real human cost behind fame, subscribe right now because we tell stories like this every single week. Behind the scenes, Justin Bieber's story is not the fairy tale the industry sold to the public. It is the story of a kid raised in poverty by a single teenage mother. A kid discovered by pure accident on YouTube. And a kid thrown into the most intense fame machine in modern history with no preparation for what it would do to him. And once you understand what actually happened, you will never look at child fame the same way again. Justin Drew Bieber was born on March 1st, 1994 in London, Ontario. His parents were both 18. They never married, they split up shortly after he was born. His mother Patty raised him alone in Stratford, Ontario, working low-paying office jobs. They lived in low-income housing. Money was always tight. His bed doubled as a sofa. But Justin had something poverty could not take away. He taught himself drums, piano, guitar, and trumpet as a kid. No formal lessons, no private training, just a boy who could hear any song once and figure out how to play it. That gift was about to change everything, for better and for worse. Chapter 1. The accident that changed music. In 2007, 12-year-old Justin entered a local singing competition in Stratford called Stratford Star. He sang Ne-Yo's So Sick, placed second. His mother filmed it and posted the video on YouTube so family who could not attend could see it. She kept uploading more. Justin singing R&B covers in his bedroom. A kid, an acoustic guitar, and a camera. But here is the crazy part. A music manager named Scooter Braun was browsing YouTube late one night looking for a completely different artist. The algorithm suggested a video of a blonde kid singing Aretha Franklin. Braun clicked it by accident, and what he heard made him cancel every meeting he had the next morning. Braun tracked Justin down, called the school board, called relatives the family had never met. When he finally reached Patty, she was terrified. A stranger from the music industry wanted to fly her 13-year-old to Atlanta. She rejected him repeatedly, blocked his number, but Braun kept calling until she finally agreed. And this is where things get strange. In Atlanta, Justin bumped into Usher in a parking lot and started singing for him right there on the spot. Both Usher and Justin Timberlake got into a bidding war to sign him. Usher won. In late 2008, Justin signed with Island Records. He was 14 years old. Multiple labels had already rejected him because he did not come from Disney or Nickelodeon. They said signing an unknown kid from YouTube was too risky. They were all wrong. Number 2. The explosion. In May 2009, Justin released his debut single, One Time. It charted in over 10 countries. His debut EP, My World, sold over 1 million copies. Then My World 2.0 debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, making him the youngest solo male to top that chart in 47 years. But what happened next shocked the entire industry. Baby featuring Ludacris became a global phenomenon. Its video became the first in YouTube history to reach 500 million views. Justin did not just become famous, he became the blueprint for how the internet could create a superstar from nothing. Dua Lipa, Charlie Puth, and countless other artists have credited his YouTube discovery as the moment they realized they could do the same. Sold out arenas, millions of screaming fans, a documentary called Never Say Never that grossed over $73 million at the box office. Under the Mistletoe became the first Christmas album by a male artist to debut at number 1. Believe arrived in 2012 with Boyfriend becoming his biggest hit yet. But here is what nobody was paying attention to. Behind the fame was a teenager being managed and monetized around the clock. A kid given a swagger coach to teach him how to dress and talk. A kid surrounded by adults whose income depended entirely on him staying relevant. A kid who never got the chance to be a kid. Justin Bieber's most important chapter was not about music or screaming fans. It was about what happens when you give a child the world and forget to protect him from it. Chapter 3, The Fall and the Redemption. Between 2013 and 2014, Justin spiraled publicly. Drag racing arrests, DUI charges, egging a neighbor's house, abandoning a pet monkey overseas. Every tabloid in the world ran a countdown to his destruction. He was 19 years old, but here is the part that nobody expected. Behind the headlines, Justin was battling severe depression and anxiety. He later revealed he had started using drugs heavily as a teenager. He said there were times he questioned whether he wanted to be alive. The entire world was watching a young man fall apart in real time and treating it as entertainment. But Justin did something that most child stars never managed to do. He survived. He got help. He found faith. He surrounded himself with people who cared about him as a person, not as a product. Purpose dropped in 2015. What Do You Mean hit number 1. Sorry hit number 1. Love Yourself hit number 1. 3 consecutive chart toppers from the same album. Over 20 million copies sold worldwide. Justin Bieber was not just back, he was better than he had ever been. But Bieber took things even further. Changes in 2020 documented his mental health journey openly. Justice in 2021 debuted at number 1, making him the youngest artist with 7 number 1 albums on the Billboard 200, breaking Elvis Presley's record. In 2202, he was diagnosed with Ramsay syndrome, which partially paralyzed his face and forced him to cancel his entire world tour. Through it all, he kept going. He married Hailey Baldwin in 2018, they welcomed their son Jack in 2004. He sold his music catalog for over $200 million. He released Swag in 2025, returning to the stage on his own terms. 2 Grammy Awards, 26 Billboard Music Awards, 18 American Music Awards, 8 number 1 singles on the Hot 100, over 150 million records sold worldwide. The youngest solo male to debut at number 1 in nearly half a century. The artist who proved that YouTube could build a global superstar, he was the first person to show the world what the internet could do to a career. But he also showed the world what that kind of fame can do to a human being. The world discovered Justin Bieber when he was 13 and treated him like a product. They celebrated him when he was profitable and mocked him when he broke down. But Justin Bieber is still here, still making music, still being honest about the cost, still proving that the kid from Stratford who sang into a camera in his bedroom was always more than what the world tried to turn him into. And that is the story of the YouTube kid who changed the music industry forever at a devastating cost and somehow survived to tell it himself. If this story moved you, drop a like and subscribe. We tell stories like this every week. The next one is even crazier.